This is BBC One with the news at 9 o'clock from Peter Sissons.
Rescued after 4 weeks lost on a Malaysian jungle mountain. The first of a 5-man British Army team are brought out exhausted but safe. Mr. Hurd rebukes the Tory Euro factions. Put your toys back in the cupboard. And the Crossbar Glen councillor beaten by thugs tells the IRA, "You won't silence me." Good evening. The British Army team, missing in the dense and dangerous terrain of North Borneo, has been found alive. The worst affected by the ordeal, a British officer and a Hong Kong soldier, were winched out by helicopter and are recovering well. The others, a second officer and 2 other soldiers, are spending one more night in the open, but with medical help and fresh supplies. The 5-man team was one half of an army climbing expedition planned to take 10 days. It started on February the 22nd at the bottom of Mount Kinabalu. 2 days later, the team of 10 reached the summit and split up. The first team set off but got lost after making a detour into the jungle, eventually emerging more than a week later. They raised the alarm, and 2 days later, search operations were started, the Malaysian Army from the bottom, from the top, an RAF team. On Monday, the RAF party found equipment belonging to the missing group, but it was a Malaysian Air Force helicopter that found them this morning.
They had been out on one of the world's most dangerous mountains for more than a month. This morning they were found, weak but alive, 6,000 feet high on the inhospitable slopes at the foot of a waterfall known as the Point of No Return. A Malaysian helicopter crew spotted them, ending a mission which involved hundreds of troops.
While on this mission, the crew spotted SOS sign made of pebbles on the bank of Penataran River. On closer inspection, they identified 3 standing and 2 personnel lying on a number of big boulders at that location.
The expedition leader, Colonel Robert Neal, was one of those too weak to get to his feet. The other was a Hong Kong soldier. As soon as the news broke, food and medicine were loaded up for the final part of this rescue. The 2 weakest men were winched to safety and straight to hospital here. It could be months before they're fully recovered, but doctors believe they'll certainly pull through.
What they said was when the rations ran out, they survived on a biscuit a day. There was lots and lots of fresh water, so there was no problem with water.
The weather closed in this afternoon, and a second helicopter rescue had to be abandoned. So the others are spending yet one more night on the floor of Lowe's Gully, but this time with food and 3 members of the search team to look after them. RAF mountain rescue climbers who flew out from Britain last week began their journey home after 9 days in appalling conditions at the top of Mount Kinabalu. They risked their lives abseiling in driving rain. Soon the search was narrowed to a 2-kilometer stretch. The helicopter crew was looking there when it saw the SOS signal. At first light, the helicopter crew goes up again to try to get the last 3 survivors off the mountain. Then the inquiry will begin.